So I just saw Knives Out. She didn't, but I did. Boy, pardon the intrusion. Anyways, guys, like I said, I just got out of Knives Out, and my goodness, that movie was so good. I love that movie so much. Oh my gosh. Honestly, that's just my gut reaction. This is probably the best movie I have seen in 2019. It was beautifully well handled by Rian Johnson, the one and only man behind Star Wars: The Last Jedi, probably the most polarizing Star Wars movie of all time, at least, yeah, of all time. And it was such a breath of fresh air to see, a slightly, like I kind of said with Ford v Ferrari, this is a slightly higher budget movie, but it was expertly held, and this movie was so much fun. Went with the family. Shout out to my fam. It was such a good time, and I'm gonna get in my car actually because it's kind of like raining right now. Overall, one of the most consistent, enjoyable 2.5 hours. I don't know if it was actually 2.5 hours, something like that, of my movie-going experience this year. It was so great. I absolutely loved it. I don't know, it was just like Rian Johnson directing this movie and writing it. He just put such a wonderful spin on your classic murder mystery movie. It's not like, what you typically see out of movies like The Pink Panther and Clue and Murder on the Orient Express. It's very similar, but they change it, but different at the same time. They change it up in some really unique ways to make it its own original story with very new concepts, a great cast, and I loved it. And also, I got to drive home. Yeah, so Knives Out, first impressions, I loved it. I recommend you go see it in a movie theater, although it is still a good film to watch. I just watch it with other people. It's such a fun movie to watch with other people. I definitely recommend that. Honestly, I will mostly recommend to see films in the theater because I think that's where they're best experienced. But with this one, just definitely watch it and make sure you watch it with other people because this is a movie that's definitely better when you watch it with other people as they try and piece out the puzzle with you. And it's a funny movie. It's intense. It's exciting. And definitely check it out. That'll do it for my first impressions review. Please stay tuned for my in-depth, non-spoiler review. I'd really appreciate if you would check that out. And it shall commence in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. The new poster. It's frozen. Hey guys, welcome back to my in-depth non-spoiler review of Knives Out.
Up your ass.
Oh, very nice.
Matter of fact,
Oh my God.
eat shit. How's that? Eat shit, eat shit, eat shit.
Smug smile.
Definitely eat shit.
Knives Out was directed by Rian Johnson and it stars a lot of people. It's a pretty big cast, and a pretty good cast too. I like them a lot. So as I've said before, and you may have heard, this is another whodunit murder mystery style of movie. But it is extremely unique and different in its approach to this. It's really nice to see one of these movies come out to like the big screen again because I don't think we've had one since the Murder on the Orient Express remake, and I actually think it's a very underrated type of film genre. I really like them a lot, and this one is definitely probably the best I've ever seen. I know there's a lot of really great ones like Clue and the old Pink Panther movies, but me personally, this is my favorite movie of that genre and also probably of this year. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought that what made this movie for me was its sense of like personality. Any type of video game, movie, book that I've ever read, I've always enjoyed it more if it had a very unique and distinct style of personality, and this movie is just littered with that. And Rian Johnson, I think, achieves this best through two main aspects. It's definitely the cast, how well the actors perform in their roles, and how quirky they make their characters, and also the way this movie is cut together. I really enjoyed the comedic timing that was in this movie. It's very funny. There were so many good laughing moments, and this is carried by not only the amazing performance of these actors, but the comedic timing and how the movie is cut together and how they sometimes weave character dialogue dialogue between characters, and it's all in a very pleasing and a very satisfying way that really makes for a more enjoyable movie-going experience because everyone's sitting down laughing, having a good time, and I really loved it for that. Let's talk about the main lead. So the main lead of this movie is not who you might think. The movie had about, I'd say, a $40 million budget. I think it was around there, and you may not be able to you may not be able to tell from the trailers, but I'd say like hold your expectations because the main big ensemble cast, all the A-list people in this movie aren't in it as much as you think, which is okay because the lead role played by Ana de Armas, I think that's how you say her name, she's great. She plays this sort of maid and assistant to Mr. Thromby, who's the old man who was murdered in this movie, and also portrayed very well. And she, like I said, is great. She's very charismatic, and she has a very unique quirk about her that I'm not going to give away here because that's another thing is that this adds to that personality element I was just talking about because every single character has this quirky kind of personality to them. It's more than just how in your standard murder mystery you have characters who are distinct and have different personalities. Each one of these characters is distinct. But it's not just because of the way their characters are written. I mean, well, it is, but it's because that there's an extra layer of quirkiness to them that makes them special. They have a little bit of something to them that adds to the overall campiness of this movie, makes it a little goofy, and I think it's really great for that. It's very bold. Rian Johnson did write this movie, and for all the people who are hating on The Last Jedi, I think this movie definitely proves that he knows how to write and direct a feature film. For the people who really did not like, I personally really liked The Last Jedi. For the people who did not like that movie, I hope you can see something in this movie that's really enjoyable because I think it's one of his best work that I've seen. Now to be fair, I've only seen Looper and The Last Jedi. I did like Looper. It was weird, but I liked that movie a lot. And The Last Jedi I love. That's my second favorite Star Wars movie. And this movie is honestly probably the best of the bunch in my opinion. It's been bugging me. Oh, that's so much better. It's definitely a long movie. It's about 2 hours and 20 minutes long, I believe. But it doesn't feel that way. The most you really feel it is in the beginning. But even in the beginning, the unique style of how the movie is edited together and the way everything flows, the pacing is for the most part consistent. The plot continues to thicken as we go, and it gets more and more interesting the way the story is told to you. What's very unique and interesting about this movie, aside from the quirky characters and the overall style and personality that it has, is that the narrative, without giving spoilers away, it's interesting how much information Johnson chooses to give the audience in the early parts of the film, and it changes how we perceive these type of movies and how we go about solving this mystery because there are new aspects and new elements in play that change the whole viewpoint of the story and the outlook of the story. And it's really fun to piece together, almost sort of in a backward sense, what's going on. This sounds really complicated, but if you watch the movie, I'm sure you'll understand it. But other than that, I don't got too much more to say about this movie. Just go see it. I really enjoyed it. Again, this movie was definitely proof that Rian Johnson does know how to helm a film, in my opinion. Also, the set design, really great. Whenever they were in the mansion, everything about the set just kind of came to life, and I really believe that they were on a mansion and not on a set. But yeah, that'll do it for my review. Thank you so much for sticking by, for watching. If you made it this far, make sure you please like the video. Tell anybody else you know about it. I'd really appreciate it. I like making these videos, and I'd like for you people to enjoy them too. That'll be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye. Also, I changed my setup. It's a new setup. I hope you like it.